fellow limitless HBICs. How you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? Huh? How's everybody doing? Is everybody on top of their manifestation game, or are you sitting in a corner thinking about how you can't have it and how it hasn't happened yet? We don't want to do that. It's a waste of our time. Yeah? Okay. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They are on the screen that just went by. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have a channel membership, which starting shortly, there will be 2 channel memberships to choose from. One at the $34.99 price will be the normal channel membership that we have going now, but it will be mostly centered on a weekly zhuzhing and topics of manifesting. Meaning this is where you want to come when you just want to talk manifestation, but not your circumstances and not your old stories. You know, we can share successes, but we want to talk and go on deeper subjects of manifestation. And by the weekly zhuzhing, I mean, you know, listen, talking about manifestation and really, you know, allowing your mind and your awareness to expand helps you on your journey. Yeah? Okay. So that's what that one will be about. And I haven't set up the other one yet, but that will be more of a group / hot seat coaching group. And it will have like a trigger warning. You can come and ask questions about your particular circumstances. You know, we will have a time restriction per person, you know, and depending on how many people join it, it doesn't guarantee it'll always be you in that hot seat. But, you know, that's going to be the place you want to come when you just need to talk to me every week for a short little teeny tiny span of time. Okay? And onwards, let's get on. This is going to be a little shorter than usual video. I just want to get a video up because this is Thursday. I'm not going to be able to go live today due to coaching calls. I won't be able to go live today for the coaching calls. I may be able to go live tomorrow or Sunday. Well, you know my life. Because of that, I still want to get a video up. And this video is for those of you who believe you're doing everything right. And I'm using that phrase loosely. I think I'm doing everything right. We hear it all the time. You see it in comment sections. Kim, I'm doing everything right. I've been doing everything right. I've been in the state, or I've been on my affirmations. I've been on it. Where the hell is my manifestation? Well, right off the jump, the first thing we want to take a look is, are you really, or have you really been in the state? What state have you really been in? What state have you been in comparison to your 3D? Right? There are infinite states. So sometimes, you know, we think yes, I'm embodying the feeling of having my manifestation. And at the same time, your ego is screaming at you that, no, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you're never gonna, right? Right? And I'm not telling you you're doing things wrong. I'm telling you that, you know, in that moment, you're listening to your ego and you're giving into it, which that is not embodying the state of having. And that's not, you know, shame on you. You're a bad girl. You're a failure. You're never going to get your shit. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there's a reason why we wanted to be the observer of our thoughts, instead of just accepting them. And guess who I'm going to read from? You know it. This is for, you know, if this helps anybody, if you're interested in where I'm reading this shit, this is The Power of Awareness. We are in chapter 2. My washing machine is on. Let's go. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. Are you hearing me, babes? Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself, and your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to as true. What you consent to can only be discovered by an uncritical Observation. Observation of your reactions to life. Bet you didn't think I was going to say that next, huh? You thought I was going to say thoughts, right? Okay. Your reactions reveal where you live psychologically. And where you live psychologically determines how you live here in the outer visible world, your 3D. The importance of this in your daily life should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. Okay, let's make it Kim version. Now, all the things that we're desiring, everything we're experiencing, everything that we, what words we use and accept to describe who we are identifying ourselves as, is not because of what our 3D tells us necessarily. It's where our mind has been, the arrangement of our mind, what thoughts we have repetitively accepted as our truth. So for those of you manifesting money and you're finding it difficult to do so, you believe it's difficult, right? You're struggling. It is your acceptance of it's a struggle. It's difficult. You've always been broke. Your family has always been broke. You've always been terrible with money. It is your persistent acceptance of those words, thoughts, coming into your mind, that you've allowed that to become your concept of self. Self. In other words, what state you've been embodying. This is where I bring up the importance of not consistently believing that there is something wrong with you and that there is more work to do on yourself. Because moment by moment by moment is an opportunity to reality shift. Yes? So by being the observer of what thoughts you're thinking, instead of just instantly believing them, regardless of what we see in the 3D. And I know that's not always easy, right? It's not always easy. I know there are sometimes there can be circumstances that are very troubling, very upsetting, and I know that. But there is also the times where we're just being lazy because it feels more natural to feel like shit, which is what? An indication of what states you've been naturally living in the dominant amount of your existence, right? The repetition of embodying I like to say, lower state or shittier state. Remember, on this channel, I like to think of states as going up on the stairs, like stair steps, right? Stairway to heaven, the stairs. And the higher we go, the better the states. That's how I look at it, right? You can make your own little picture and you can decide for yourself what the states look like. That just helps me think of states and help myself shift through states, okay? We're all thinking in pictures. Some of us aren't even aware we're thinking in pictures. I'm one of those people. You see what I'm saying? But I'm bringing this up because, Neville also talked about the idea of if you're struggling and you think you've been doing everything right off the top, before I even say the next part, you should be telling yourself you're doing everything right. No matter what. You're doing it right. And this is why. This is the importance of why. Every single YouTuber on this platform that makes manifestation videos are only teaching you from their own personal experience, their own beliefs, their own perspectives from the state they're currently in. That means you don't have to live your manifestation game word for word or cookie cutter perfect like they do, like I do. It's advice. It's advice. On this channel, it's personal experience. It's what I've lived. It's what I've gone through. It's what I've tested for myself. And these are the results I get. So this is why I make videos about it, because I can say for certainty, well, this was my experience. Do you see what I'm saying? But it is an individual game. It's an individual game. It is not a manifesting with Kimberly only game, right? It's not only a Sammy Ingram game. We are individuals. Hence why both of us teach from the perspective of you make the rules in your reality. And it's why you have the authority to tell yourself that whatever your manifestation game is, it's right. You're always doing everything right. Your belief around what you're utilizing as your manifestation game, your belief around that is what will become true in your reality. So if you're consistently in the place of just sucking in information from channel to channel to channel to channel, right? You're just sucking in, you're soaking it up, but you're not applying. You're going to get lost in that, right? We want to chill. You want to limit how many different videos you're taking in, separate channels, I mean. And at minimum, keep them in the same family. You know what I mean? If we've got 10 different perspectives, it's going to lead to confusion. And you're going to question yourself and think, well, wait a minute, this coach says to do this. This coach says to do this. Now this coach is saying they're both wrong and you should do it like this. This is where the confusion comes in, right? You're the top priority and top authority of your own manifestation game. You, the individual. Every single channel is just advice giving. It's just advice giving. Some are talking from the perspective of actually have done the work, from their own perspective, from their own experience. I'm going to use an example. We'll say Ava manifested that. I love her channel. But Ava likes things from the perspective of science, sciencey stuff. That's not my gig. I don't like that. I don't like including science. Science to me is limiting. But from her perspective, it's not limiting. And because that's her belief, it won't limit her. She will have a successful 3D. And in my opinion, seems to be she is. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm just as successful with my own manifestations. We are not manifesting the same things, but I'm just as successful in my own 3D. And I think differently around science, but it's working for me. It's because I believe that it's working for me. And the way that my perspective is also truth. And it is also working. See, two different perspectives. Two people having two different mindsets around manifestation. Yet it's working for both. Do you see what I'm saying? It's an individual game. So right off the top, tell yourself you're doing everything right. That's basic bitch. That's manifestation 101. You're always doing everything right. You can't fuck this up. And you should try to believe that. We don't need any extra stress, right? Okay. I want you to think from the perspective of when you're questioning, I think I'm doing everything right and it's not here yet. I want you just to remember this. The whole of creation exists in you, and it is your destiny to become increasingly aware of its infinite wonders and to experience ever greater and grander portions of it. If creation is finished and all events are taking place now, the question that springs naturally to the mind is, what determines your time track? That is, what determines the events which you encounter? And the answer is your concept of yourself. Concepts determine the route that attention follows. Here is a good test to prove this fact, and I want you to listen to this and try it yourself. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. You will observe that as long as you remain faithful to your assumption, so long will your attention be confronted with images clearly related to that assumption. For example, if you assume that you have a wonderful business, you will notice how in your imagination your attention is focused on incident after incident relating to that assumptions. Friends congratulate you, tell you how lucky you are. Others are envious and critical. From there, your attention goes to larger offices, bigger bank balances, and many other similarly related events. Persistence in this assumption will result in actually experiencing, in fact, that which you assumed. The same is true regarding any concept. If your concept of yourself is that you are a failure, you would encounter in your imagination a whole series of incidents in conformance to that concept. Thus, it is clearly seen how you, by your concept of yourself, determine your present. That is, the particular portion of creation which you now experience, and your future, that is, the particular portion of creation which you will experience. And I say this out of love. That if you believe that you've been doing everything right and you see nothing in your 3D, what caused you to bring that to your attention that it's not here yet? What was the thought? What were you putting attention on that you are reminded that it's not here yet? Test yourself. See yourself as having your desire. Embody that for a moment. And where does the mind go? And if it goes into imagination, where you're seeing yourself with your person, or you're seeing yourself spending money, paying off bills with all the money manifestations, or whatever it is you're manifesting, if it goes off into imagination, good. But if it goes into the direction of, yeah, but it's not here yet. It's still not here yet. I don't know that this is working. If it goes into that direction, you can see where you've been dominantly turning your attention to. Now, if you're someone that does go into imagination and you're still questioning, then pay attention. What was it that caused you to fall back into lack and made you start looking in the 3D again? Start being mindful of those moments if they're happening a lot. If you're feeling down or bad that the manifestation is here. I'm not saying that you're ruining your manifestation. And I'm not telling you that you're stopping it from coming. I'm saying, let's get our attention on what is causing me to continually focus on what I don't like, what's not here yet. If I don't want to keep manifesting that or more of that, what is bringing my attention to it? And let's start working from there. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.